members, and I'm going to bring in now lovely Jo Broadey from Bright Sky Tutoring. So,
Hello.
hello, lovely to see you. How are
You
you?
too. I'm good, thank you. Yeah,
You?
I'm good. I'm glad you didn't bring me on straight away because my husband just came in halfway and I was like, I'm on the internet. I was like, oh.
My
So,
husband always does that. My kids are so good, they do not come through the door. But my husband's got, I always say, he's got no boundaries.
yeah.
So, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Yes, it's day off sort of childcare day,
No,
looking after little
childcare
one. So
day.
it's different
Yeah,
kind of work day.
it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a day off, is it? It's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
it's a different kind of work. Wonderful. So we've got Jo joining us now, who is another of wonderful Catalyst memberships. And Jo's going to come in and talk about her business, about her journey, and about her experience of being in the Catalysts as well. So, Jo, let's first of all ask you just to introduce you and tell us a bit about you and about your business.
So I am qualified secondary English tutor by trade. And up until a few years ago, I worked like a lot of people did, full time in school, in secondary school teaching. And I left probably about 3 years ago now, probably for the same reasons a lot of women end up when you get to a certain age, end up walking away from full time teaching because it just wasn't particularly suited with having young children. I just found it very hard. Once I went back too soon after maternity leave and just couldn't really cope with the environment, so I walked away. I then did another business for a bit, which didn't really work out particularly well. I built into a franchise for a business, which I struggled with. I don't even know, to this day really why, but just something wasn't quite right. Something didn't quite click with it. And it wasn't really till lockdown that Bright Sky Tutoring was born. Basically, I'd done a bit of tutoring before, just as a bit of on the side money, and I suppose I just never really thought about running it as a proper business. I didn't really think it was something that I could do particularly. And then lockdown came, so it was the perfect time. I sort of couldn't continue with the other business anyway, so it was the perfect time to create something new. Started off just advertising on groups. And then it just grew very, very fast. In the space of a few months, really, I went from having like 2 students suddenly up to 10, and it's just continued growing. Really, over the last probably nearly 2 years now. And it's really, it's just blossomed.
Well done you. And I'm guessing because of the pandemic as well, and because so many, obviously, the children were homeschooling, there must be so many children who really need and benefit from the services that you can bring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're still seeing it even now. There's still so much uncertainty, especially now with new measures coming back in and stuff. I think there's still a lot of anxiety about what the next 6 months are going to bring for everyone again. So it was it was a great time. And I do bits as well. I have my Facebook group, so I try. It's not all about just making money, although I do obviously need to bring in an income, but I do try, and it's about sort of giving back as well, and trying to support parents, especially secondary parents, because I noticed when we went into lockdown there was just like a huge influx of primary resources. There were so many Facebook groups for primary school age children, nothing really out there to support secondary age children. And then there were a lot of parents who, obviously, when you get to a certain point, if you're not a subject specialist, they didn't know what to do. But at the same time, the kids weren't really having the guidance and support either. So that was where the Facebook group was kind of born out of that. It was kind of run alongside Bright Sky Tutoring as well.
That's really lovely. I love that. So as well as doing the tutoring, you've kind of created a community as well, so that people feel that they're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really important. And I guess as well, I know for a lot of kids, the anxiety levels have been so high, haven't they? We know that school attendance has dropped. There's a lot going on for young people. But at the end of the day, you need your English, don't you? You can't get anywhere. I say this as an ex-English teacher, but you do need English. You can't get anywhere without that English qualifications. So the work that you do is incredibly important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the thing that's good and the thing that's really hard, I suppose, about having English as your specialism,
Yeah,
is the obviously the kids need to pass it, and you need to find a way to help them pass
right.
it as well.
Yeah.
But it's also, I mean, it's my love. I love teaching English, especially the A level students as well.
Mm,
That's my real passion, going into the A level English literature. As well
yeah.
as I love being able to do some of that as well. Yeah.
Oh, it's a joy, and you know, like, the passion that you have makes such a difference, doesn't
Yeah.
it? That's what gets kids engaged in wanting to learn is knowing somebody who's got that
Yeah,
passion.
definitely. Absolutely.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Jo, what have you got coming up, like, either between now and the end of the year or in the new year? What's coming up? What's on the cards for you in terms of your business?
So I've actually just launched today by coincidence. I've given a resource. It's basically what it is. It's a collection of free English literature lessons
Oh,
that are hosted via my website. So all people need to
right,
do to access them is register. And it's
right.
completely free, and they're kind of like bite-sized, so sort of 10-minute little tutorials covering different topics in GCSE English literature. And it's just,
Oh, that
there as
sounds
a
amazing. Because
it's
lots of
just there
kids
as a
have got
free
their mocks
resource.
coming up as well, haven't they?
Yeah,
Oh, great. Could I ask you to pop,
absolutely.
that
Yeah,
into the chat, and then we can share
yeah,
that with
yeah.
everybody?
We'll do.
Sure that lots of us watching will either
Yeah.
have yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
kids kind of getting to that stage, or friends who've got
yeah,
children, who've got teenagers at school, be really, really useful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I run 2 classes for English language, and
Right.
a lot of people always like, "But what about the literature?" But it's just logistically very hard to do a group class for literature
Right,
because, as you
okay.
know, even within the same school, they could all be doing different texts,
They're all doing
let alone
different
coming from different
yeah.
schools. So it's, and then, yeah, so and so's not doing Macbeth till year 11, so it's very, very hard to coordinate. So this was a way of kind of giving a little bit of literature guidance
Oh, that's so
out there
great.
as
That's
well.
really good. And I know that's something that kids can really struggle with and need support with, because
Yeah.
if the literature doesn't click, and then sometimes in school, like, things have moved on and you're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
still haven't really got that." So, wow, that's really, really valuable.
Yeah. Um,
Wonderful.
yeah. Otherwise, really, in terms of sort of coming up, basically, my groups are still, we'll start a new block in the new year for those. So I have my Key Stage 3 group, which still call it the Writers Club. So it originated as a creative writing group, but it's kind of
Mm,
grown perhaps a bit more into a more general Key Stage 3 English, just in line with what the kids want to focus on.
right.
Um, so I think next term we're going to tackle Shakespeare, which is the first time I've done that in a group. So
Oh,
for
exciting.
for a new topic, just because that's something I've been asked to cover. So we've got that, and then the next block of my Key Stage 4 classes as well will start in the new year for people to join as
Wonderful,
well.
wonderful. And where do your kids come from? Are they all kind of from the local area, or do you get kids coming from different areas?
So predominantly because I'm based like Dartford, Bexley, so a lot of them come from there, but
Yeah,
I do have them from all over as well. Kids, from
fabulous.
up
Very
north, Northern Ireland.
wow,
I've even like over the summer I was doing some lessons in Korea, um,
gosh,
as well. So
brilliant.
yeah, it's become international in terms of the business as well, which obviously has all been down to online, being able to do that.
Amazing. That's it, isn't it? That is the joy of online, that
Yeah,
geography is no barrier. It's wonderful,
yeah,
fantastic. Okay, and I was just wondering as well, um, you joined Rebecca in her membership,
yeah,
didn't you?
yeah,
From kind of earlier on before we merged to form the Coaching Catalyst,
yeah,
and then of course you've been Catalysts for some time now.
yeah.
So what would you say have been your biggest kind of learnings from being a member of the Catalysts, or from working with Rebecca before we joined?
I think like the focus on work-life balance. I think that's
Mm,
really important because there are
mm.
some communities I'm part of online where it can sometimes feel like burnout is a badge of honor. Is kind of how I put it, and like
Right.
you should just be working, 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 working.
Yeah,
So it's really nice and refreshing to come, be in a community where actually like no, it's important to do both.
yeah,
um and to kind of change my outlook a little bit, and like you don't have to be the person who's doing like 23 hours a day with it
no,
as well. So that's been really, really good, the focus on it, on making sure you take time off
that's
as
really good to
well.
hear. That's so good to
Yeah,
hear, Jo, because do you know what? Like, in the work that you do, when you're working with people, you are your energy, right? And
Yeah.
so you don't look after yourself, you just don't have the energy
Yeah.
to give to your work. And you put, I know, like, you put a lot into your, you put a lot of passion, a lot of energy
Mm.
into the work that you do. So you're so right. That's really, really important that we take care of ourselves as a whole person. It's not just all like grind, grind, grind. Yeah,
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
it. Mm,
Absolutely. I think teachers as well, it's very, very easy to burn out, as you know, again in teaching. The profession, the whole sort of mentality around it can, yeah, can inspire that feeling you always can be doing more. You can
mhm.
always be giving more. So yeah,
Oh,
it's been
yeah.
really, really good to see that that different approach.
Exhausting, exhausting.
Yeah.
We have lots of teachers
Mm.
in our community who might be thinking, I wonder if maybe they might want to stay in education, and we hope
Yep.
so, and we champion that. But also they might be thinking, maybe I'd quite like to make a change, but I don't know if I can. And it was the same for me and Rebecca. We were both like, can I make a change? I've been a teacher for all this time. Is it possible? What would you say to somebody who's thinking about making a change?
That yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Obviously, it is scary. I think one of the biggest things is stepping away from your teaching, your guaranteed income. That
Mm,
nicely, and obviously there's the pay scales, so you've got a nice clear process for going up. That's hard to step away, I think, to being
mm,
self-employed, having
mm.
that insecurity. But there is certainly the demand out there, is
Yeah.
what I found for it as well. That people do want that extra help. I think it's like it's thinking about like where you can flourish, because for me as a teacher, I think I'm actually better one-to-one with students. For me, like the things I was never as good at, like behavior management, was never a natural strength for me ever. I found that really, really, really difficult to learn.
Right,
Um,
it's hard, isn't it? Let's be
yeah,
honest, like 30 teenagers, like, nobody would argue with that. It's not
yeah.
easy, yeah.
For me, it's much nicer in some ways when you can just teach, and it makes me feel
Yes.
much more fulfilled. And that support, that one-to-one support, that's just impossible to give when you've got 30 children as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, so think about, are you going to potentially give more value, um
Mm.
yeah, by stepping away as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so actually you can give more by stepping away. And it's
Yes.
interesting that you mentioned about the financial security as well, 'cause it's something
Mm.
that Sarah mentioned when she was
Yeah.
talking to us, that that's something important to think about, not, because I was saying earlier, some people, "Oh, just take that leap, just go for it."
Yeah,
Think about where you have to think about that financial security as well. That's really important.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. So can I ask you, can you pop into the comments for us
Yeah,
anything you want to share, in terms of your course that you've got coming up, or anything,
absolutely.
or how we can get in touch with you? That would be
Yeah,
wonderful,
brilliant.
so that we can get in touch with you, Jo. Thank
Yeah,
you.
brilliant. Yeah, will do. Okay.
Fantastic. And if you're joining us today and you've got any questions for Sarah, or questions for Jo, or questions about the Catalyst membership and is it for you and would you like to be involved, just feel free to pop us a message or put a comment under the live, or get in touch with us at hello at the Coaching Catalysts, and we're always really happy to speak to you and to answer any questions that you might have. So just get in touch, and we'd be really happy to do that. So Jo's just going to pop her social links in so we can follow up after this. It's been brilliant conversations today. Two really inspiring ladies who've left that security of employment and have gone in to form their businesses, to build their businesses from scratch. Really, really inspiring to see that and to learn and to hear people's stories. And we have in our membership, we have a real range of people. So we have some people who are in professional careers and they really benefit from the membership in terms of creating that same structure, having that supportive community, having that focus on work-life balance, having that focus on confidence. And then we have some people who are kind of in a transition phase between employment and coming into thinking about starting a business. And then we have some amazing business owners as well. We do attract a lot of teachers because Rebecca and I are, but not everybody's a teacher. We've got lots and lots of different kind of backgrounds and expertise going on in our group as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful community, and it's so lovely to have the chance to speak one-to-one and to hear about you and your stories as well. Super. So I'm just going to copy over this and stick that in the comments. Okay, so Jo's business is called Bright Sky Tutoring, and she does secondary English tuition, one-to-one and small group lessons, and you can find her over on Facebook at facebook.com/Bright Sky Tutoring. And Jo's course that she was talking about to help with free, this is incredible offer, free GCSE English literature is here as well, and I'm just going to show that for us. So if you're interested in that, give it a go. I know lots of you will have kids who are about to do their mocks, or need a bit more support, so that's there as well for you. Okay, right, Jo, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else you'd like to say as kind of your parting words today?
Just that the coaching class, this is really good. And definitely an amazing. The thing I would say as well, what you and Rebecca do is amazing value from it as well. I mean, like I think it was a few months ago, but I had a session with Rebecca where it was just me and her, and she spent like an hour with me, giving me like one-to-one coaching, which obviously I know other coaches would charge like hundreds for that. So that I think the amount of value you get for what you charge is absolutely amazing. And like the day in London was really, really good. Again, that was amazing value for what you charged as well. It was a really, really lovely day as well. So yeah, I would say, yeah, go for it. It's really such good support. And you offer, and there's so much as well that you guys do. Like every month, the calendar's full of different things that you do, and it's brilliant.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. We're really passionate about supporting you guys, and really we show up and we give everything we've got. So I'm really pleased to hear that you appreciate that. Wonderful. So thank you so much for your time
You're
today.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And for those of you who were listening to Sarah Canavan earlier, who would like to get in touch with her, she is at bexley@lingotot.com, dartford@lingotot.com, all social media, lingotot Bexley, and she's got a Linktree link here as well. And Sarah said also that she's got availability for French and Spanish MFL PPA from January. So if you're interested in that, if you've got a connection with the school, whether you're a parent or you're a teacher, and you think actually that would be really beneficial for our students, get in touch with Sarah Bexley at Lingotot. Or if you've got kids going through GCSE English or secondary English in general and could benefit for some tutoring. And I know when I was an English teacher, my goodness, like the parents would just, often would be seeking tutoring for their kids if they needed a bit of extra support. So please get in touch with Jo as well. So thanks so much if you've been joining today. Any questions for Sarah or Jo, direct them to them directly, or if there's anything you want to pass on through the Catalyst, we're really happy to do that. If you're thinking, actually, I fancy a bit of this Catalyst membership community, our doors are opening soon. So if you think that you would be interested in joining, come and join us. And we have got a free masterclass called Find Your Brave, all about creating your vision, your purpose, and finding that confidence to take action. And that will be this Monday at 8 p.m. So look out, because we're going to be posting lots about that in the next few days. Right, have a lovely day. If you've been joining me, thank you so much for joining, and take care. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.